Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I recently put out a video in which I discussed the DBD tier list. I kind of just went over my opinions on the killers in the game. You know, I said who I thought was strong, who I thought was weak. And oh my god, it got crazy backlash. I was not expecting the video to do as well as it did, like viewer count wise, so that was kind of a pleasant surprise. But I also did not expect the amount of fucking negativity that the video would receive. I didn't realize how upset people would be over a tier list. Which, by the way, I want to clarify before we even get into this video. I definitely said at the beginning that these are my opinions, and I even said, let me know if I'm cooked. I said, let me know if my takes are cooked in the chat. Because I knew that I was going to give, like, you know, maybe not the most accurate assessment. I never claimed to be on Starva. I just said that I play the game a lot, and this is my opinion. Also, it should kind of go without saying that this is a different kind of video. I know the videos on my channel are normally just me covering a build or a killer or something stupid. Maybe something new came out. But this one, I kind of just want to sit here and talk to you guys. And I know it's a little weird, but it's a little weird for me too. So you're going to have to bear with me. This is the first time I've really done a video like this, at least in a very long time. So if I sound a little awkward, it's because I am. I'm sorry. I'm scared. I'm nervous right now. I also kind of want to go ahead and say, like, okay, maybe I was wrong about some of my placements on the list. Like, for example, I did put Plague a little low. I did put Pyramid Head a little low. And there were a lot of things that I didn't consider within the moment. But one thing I want to say before I even get into it is that this tier list was something I did on stream. Right? So this was something that kind of just came up. Someone said, hey, can you do a killer tier list? This wasn't something that I prepared for, did research on, wrote a script about. This was literally just a spur of the moment kind of deal. Someone wanted a killer tier list. I said, fuck it, I'll give it to you guys because we had just hit like 1K on Twitch. And I was like, all right, why not? So there's a pretty good chance that I was going to say a lot of things wrong, you know? And that's not to say that all the comments were hate comments. Like, some people left, you know, they left good ones. They shared their opinion. They disagreed with me, but they did it in a respectful and polite way. For example, Jewelaid says, good tier list, but I think you put Plague far too low. Even if they don't cleanse and she stays an M1 killer, you gotta realize they're just injured all game. And even if they keep cleansing, all you gotta do is constantly puke on gens and windows and they're gonna be sick all game. So that's like a pretty good way of deconstructing my argument. You know what I mean? You're not being a total dick, but you're also providing reasoning for what you're saying. Doncroft1 says, you forgot Pyramid Head's cages counter survivor meta perks like DS, TH, OTR, Deliverance, and others. And Pyramid Head isn't forced to cage. You do it when it's advantageous. His M2 is more useful than you give credit for too. It's not only good during animation locks. So yeah, another thing that I didn't realize, I didn't even think in the moment about how Pyramid Head's cage interacts with other hooking perks. You know, that's another way of saying, hey, dumb fuck, you didn't take this into consideration without actually being rude about it. Like, it was a very nice way of breaking down my argument, which I can respect. Now that we've covered some of the more polite comments, let's get to the hate comments. I know that's what you guys are here for. That's what you want to see. And holy shit, believe me, there are a fucking ton of hate comments. I did not expect there to be so many. I did rage bait a little bit, but this was insane. So the first comment was one that I actually pinned, and it just says, this has to be rage bait. Because yeah, I'll admit, I knew what I was doing when I put Blight in A tier, when I put Plague a little lower. I'll admit that I fucked up on Pyramid Head. But there were certain situations where I knew what I was doing. I knew I was upsetting certain people. And at the end of the day, sometimes that's just what you got to do to get more views. You know, that leads to more comments. I just didn't think people would be so upset about it. I thought they'd be like, this guy's... I thought everybody would kind of see that I was trolling for some of the killers, right? I thought people would clearly be like, oh, this guy's trolling. Because I like to fuck with you guys sometimes. I won't lie. I love Cherries 101 says, never cook again. Yeah, okay. Fuck you too. You must be facing horrible Plague players because no way she's C tier and Ghostface is above her. So one thing that I do want to say is, yes, I was trolling with Plague. Yes. But I was also kind of grading overall. And the thing about someone like Plague is, once you run into a 4-man Swift or people that have comms or just more experienced players and they're able to counter your power, they're like, you're going to have a harder time. I'm not saying you still can't beat them, and I'm not saying she sucks, but I don't think anyone in here would disagree with the fact that if you go against survivors who are on comms and coordinated as the Plague, it is going to be a harder time for you. And to your credit, you could say the same about Ghostface. You could say that even if you're stalking someone and they're not maybe able to reveal you right away, if they're on comms, they can get their teammates to come and check you out too. Ghostface has another power that the survivors can kind of mitigate. And that's one thing that I touched on in the video, and I hope some of you guys learned from that, is this is something that I do believe, even though there was some trolling in the video, something that I do believe is that killers on the higher end of the tier list have powers that they're more in control of. Like for example, a nurse, a blight, a spirit, those are powers that they have direct control of, whereas killers at the bottom of the tier list, there's a lot of room for the survivors to kind of fuck with them, right? So like Trapper's pretty low tier. The survivor can deny him value by getting rid of his traps. They can just poke his traps and it fucks him over. Or Myers, maybe they don't let Myers stalk them. You know what I mean? Cleansing from the plague, things like that. So people at the kind of lower end, there's more room for the survivors to take over. They're more survivor dependent, if that makes sense. Plague, Pyramid, and Pinhead. C is Wild Cap, LMAO. Wesker B. Don't let this guy cook ever again. I thought I was about to learn something. Well, maybe I'll do an updated tier list. Okay, I did troll a little bit. Maybe I'll do an updated real tier list. Is that what you guys want? Would that kiss the wound? Would that fucking make it all better? You let me know in the comments. You guys are high as fuck if you think Skull Merchant is not S tier. The new Skull Merchant, if you actually play her at full potential, even if you break the drone, it'll give a fuck ton of info where the enemy. This has to be a troll. I refuse to believe that this isn't trolling. This is also rage bait. As a Myers and Twins man, I'm offended, lol. One thing I want to say, and I just want to get this out of the way, is if you play a killer, right, and someone else says they're a lower tier, why would you get offended? If you main a killer and you do good with them and you find out they're low tier, wouldn't that just mean that you're a better player? Wouldn't that mean that you're just getting more value out of lower tier killers and now you don't have to rely on playing higher tier killers to get good fucking games? Wouldn't you be more proud in your gameplay? If it was, I don't know, that's just my stance on it. I'm not sure. I completely disagree with this tier list, but your voice and commentary were nice. Well, Henry, you're gonna fucking love this video, let me tell you. Never let bro cook again. I wonder how many people type this. I wonder, like, if I were to just search this in the comments, I wonder how many comments would pop up with it. I've never seen such a bad tier list. Blight is still S tier. Pyramid Head is counterable by crouching. The whole point is to use the trails while chasing. You clearly never faced a P100 Pyramid Head main. This dude just wants to be different. Yes, I rage baited. Yes, I neglected some Pyramid Head shit. But making the P100 argument, I mean, I don't know. Like, how often do you see a P100? That's like real skill over the killer at that point. But also, like, I'm just saying, like, the average person playing Pyramid Head probably isn't going to land their power much in chase. I mean, it's super fucking telegraphed. I think most people would agree with that. I think it's pretty hard to land it in chase, unless you can get lucky or you have, like, maybe I'm all ears or something, because it'll tell the survivor seconds in advance. It gives them ample time to react. And I guess you could say the same thing for the 4-man Swift when in regards to, like, the P100, saying, oh, how often do you see a P100? Oh, well, how often do you see a 4-man Swift? But I'd like to think that 4-man Swifts are much more common than P100s. I mean, let me know what you guys think. Personally, I feel like I encounter a lot more 4-mans than P100 killers. Nemesis above Singularity is a joke. You know what? I agree. After the fucking PTB Singularity, I 100% agree. That guy's a fucking monster now and he's terrifying. Knight in D tier? You know what? Maybe not anymore. PTB Knight is kind of nice too. This PTB's been cooking. Really hyped for Lara Croft as well. Chucky higher than Huntress is goofy as hell. I don't know, dude. I think you could very much make an argument for Chucky being higher than Huntress. I mean, you could also make the argument for Huntress being above Chucky, but it really, I'm not sure. I'm 50-50 on that now. I'm a little curious. What do you guys think? Because, I mean, a super skilled, like, think of, like, Coconut RT's Huntress, this guy doing fucking orbitals and shit, but Chucky, you can manipulate his dash a lot, you have stealth, you have mobility, you have anti-loop. I don't know, I feel like Chucky's more well-rounded. Is that fucked up to say? Sorry. Freddy better than Myers and Trapper? Nemesis and Dredge better than Twins? Pinhead C. Blood is smoking something. Just give me that shit. No, you're right. You're right. Oh, this one's fucking amazing. Your opinion is terrible. Dude, it's an opinion. You literally say it's an opinion within the fucking comment. There's no such thing as a right or wrong opinion. Just one that you don't fucking agree with. Unless it's something like putting the milk before the cereal. Those people need to be stoned. That's horrible. Hag in C tier? Stop the video after that. Where the fuck would you put her? I don't think she's that great, personally. I really don't. Plus, back in my day, you needed a fucking flashlight to disarm the trap. Now anyone can do it? Now anyone can just get rid of her traps? That fucking blows. Tell me you've played less than a year without telling me you've played less than a year. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I've been playing since 2016. And I don't know how mad that's gonna make you, but I've been playing. I started playing with when Myers and Lori got introduced to the game, and I started playing on console. I was inconsistent for a few years and I got back into it recently on PC. So it wasn't like a consistent 8 years, but I've been playing for basically 8 years. Does that upset you? Does that make you mad? Yeah, because I remember DBD came out in like the summer of 2016. And I remember the Halloween chapter came out in like mid-October and I started playing in December. It was like December or late November of 2016 is when I started playing. And then once Friday the 13th came out, which I think was like the next year, I started playing that a bit more. But yeah, I've been playing since 2016. God, I'm fucking old. Delulu. That's the bet. This whole situation is thank you. Thank you. One word. Summarized. Appreciate it. Using terms like M1 and right click makes no sense to us console players. You're alienating a huge chunk of your audience by doing that. I suppose you're right, so let's clarify right now. M1 is, I guess that would be what, your right trigger on console? M1 would be your basic / lunge attack. M2 would be your special attack, so whatever button you use to aim a hatchet on Huntress or lunge on Demogorgon. That's M2. M1 is just basic / lunge. M2 is whatever your fucking power is. Fuck is this tier list? It's officially wrong in every way but two. Fuck me. Bro don't know how to tier killers. Yeah, you're clueless. My bad, I'm kind of rapid firing these because now I'm sure I've gotten my point across. I'm sure you guys get what I'm putting down now. How is it you've played the game since 2019 but you don't know a damn thing about the game? 2016. And I don't know. I guess because I take breaks? Probably. One of the worst tier lists I ever witnessed. Maybe in low MMR. Maybe. I'm not taking that from a motherfucker named Theodore. Oh, here's a good one. Worst tier list ever. I think you better go peel potatoes, which is better for you. Plague, Sino, tier C. What the fuck? This guy is confusing as fuck. If anyone has any idea what this fucking guy was trying to say, please comment down below. I have no clue what the fuck this means or how the potatoes were brought into this. Let's leave them out. Let's keep this a safe space. But holy shit. So yeah, at the end of the day, the video was kind of troll. A lot of hate comments. But you know what? That's okay. It's now like, at the time of me recording this, my second most viewed video on my channel. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate it. And I just want to say, everyone who's been showing love, everyone who's been subbing, liking the videos, commenting, I really appreciate it. I do try my best to respond to all of them. If I miss your comment, I'm sorry. Everyone who's been checking out the Twitch, we just hit 1K. I think now we're at like 1.2K on Twitch. I really appreciate it. We kind of got some motion, no? Kind of got a little bit of motion. I just really appreciate everyone who enjoys the content. There is more on the way. I'm doing this full time now. I quit my job for this. So any support is appreciated. I love you guys. Take care. Don't let shit on the internet upset you this badly. And have a good one.